Special Investigating Unit has welcomed a whopping 311 million rand payment made by the University of Johannesburg to the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, that's NSFAS. This was money meant for students who qualified for funding but either changed institutions or deregistered between 2016 and 2021. Kaizer Kganyago from the SIU joins me now to tell us more about this. Ntate Kganyago, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Thank you very much for your time. It is a bit of good news to say that such a huge amount of money has now been repaid to NSFAS. You were asked to investigate this. Why was the SIU involved? Can we begin there?
Good afternoon, Braden, and to your viewers. We had allegations that were coming our way about the way in which NSFAS has been administering the amounts of money that they are in their space, but also to look at other tenders that they had looked into. And therefore, we then applied for a proclamation, and it was signed by the President in September of 2022. We started the investigation. One of the first things that we looked at, because we've put it in phases, was to look into the issue of the grants that are given to students. That is the first one, and you would know by now that we found that there were students who did not qualify to get it, who got it. But also, one of the first things that struck us was when we looked at the monies that were given in lump sum to the universities or colleges. We found that there was no accountability there. The money would be sent, but instead of the money being brought back after a year, it was not done. And you'll remember we issued a statement in that regard where there are two colleges in Western Cape and one college in Mpumalanga that have already paid back the money. And now we got this money from University of Johannesburg to the 311 million rand that they have paid back, which is monies that they had kept for this period of time.
I wonder, where were they keeping it? I'm sure it must have been gaining interest. Do you get the interest back as well to NSFAS?
No, definitely we'll have to look at the interest and see what they have done with that interest so that the interest can be brought back to NSFAS.
So in total, I see you've got just under 350 million rand you've managed to trace, and in unallocated funds. The biggest chunk so far since September last year is from UJ, the University of Johannesburg, and you've mentioned the other colleges. I presume it's an ongoing investigation.
Definitely, it is an ongoing investigation. That is why in our statement we are urging other institutions of higher learning to come forward and pay back that money, because that money doesn't belong to them. It belongs to government, and NSFAS must have that money back so that it can be reallocated to people that deserve to be allocated to.
Yeah, what was NSFAS's responsibility in this issue of these unallocated funds remaining with the institutions and not being allocated to students?
We found that there were no controls to make sure that there's reconciliation at the end. If for example, a university has given you 100 students, and then you, at the end of the year, you must go and reconcile to say how many students ended up getting in the university or the institution, and how many were not, and what was the money. But we have since engaged with NSFAS on this matter. They have now appointed a service provider that is going to assist them with this reconciliation. They've got a project called Close Out Reporting, and then their way is working very well for them. I think going forward, clearly there will be no problems like this anymore.
That was a big gap. It's unbelievable that an organization like NSFAS never saw it fit to put in a mechanism to reconcile the numbers at the end of the year. But thankfully to you, your investigation going forward, that challenge will be addressed. For how long, Ntate Kganyago, is the SIU investigation going to take? Is it until you are satisfied that there are no more unallocated funds sitting in a tertiary institution's bank account somewhere?
No, definitely, we will make sure that we go to the bottom of each and every case. What we have agreed to do is to say, after a year of investigation, we will do a report, a temporary or an interim report that will be sent to the President to say, President, this is how far we are, and this is how far we still need to go. But we will make sure we go to the bottom of each and every one. Therefore, it will save us time if those universities can just come up and then give out that amount back so that it can we save time and move forward, because we know of some that already have to give us this money going forward, but we'll announce them when that process has happened.
Yeah, in terms of the law, the SIU, you are empowered to do a number of things. You've got the mandate to do so, and one of those involves any evidence of criminal conduct. You have to report it. Have you found any such in this particular investigation so far?
In this particular instance, not yet. We are still going through the processes. Like with the other one with students, we still have to go to all of them and understand their circumstances. Therefore, at the moment, we have not made any referral of criminality.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Kaizer Kganyago speaking on behalf of the Special Investigating Unit.